Before I dive in, let me introduce myself to my new followers. If you're out there, my name is Coach Ronnie. I've been a strength conditioning coach for 12 years. For over 20 years, 12 of them within professional baseball, within the New York Mets organization, where I help athletes get stronger, faster, more mobile, and improve, just overall enhance their athletic performance. But there's a twist. I do the same thing for you here today, but the twist is I also train mindset, which is my 1000% my passion. All right. I feel that if you don't train your mindset, you're not developing complete athletes. A complete athlete is an athlete that's prepared for everything mentally and physically that happens on the field, court, or in life, right? So that's what this program is about, right? And like I said, today is the official launch of the Elite Athletes Unite community. And what you need to understand, with that being said, this is what you need to understand. This isn't just some motivational group, right, where we have challenges and things of that nature. This is we're forming a lifestyle here. This is not a highlight reel environment. You know, this is a culture designed to change the trajectory of athletes' futures, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, and competitively. All right. Most athletes don't fail because they aren't talented. They fail because they aren't coached on the areas that matters most: consistency, mindset, daily standards, and real accountability. And that ends today. This community is designed to help you address those aspects of training that are overlooked. They're overlooked in general, or they're addressed when something goes wrong. An athlete's having a streak, an athlete isn't performing at the highest level consistently. Oh, now we need to go into the athlete's head, figure it out. Not here. You're going to get faster, stronger, all the above, and also receive those training, the aspect of training that's overlooked. All right. So let's talk about it. Why most athletes still fail? Why do most athletes still fail? Right. Well, it's usually not the talent, right? It's often not the coaching as well, right? It's a couple things. And parents, athletes, coaches, listen closely to this right here. This is where the challenges take place. They're trained but not developed, right? Skill is growing, but the mindset is not growing, right? Speed is improving, right? But discipline is not, all right? It's not trained. It might happen, and it does happen organically, right? But it's not specifically trained. Discipline itself is not trained as often, right? Again, that's us here, right? They have the motivation, the athletes, they have the motivation, but no environment to sustain it. All right. Motivation is going to die, right? Motivation can easily die when you step away from practice, when you step off the game field. That motivation is die because it's between you, it's right here, between you and yourself. All right. You need something deeper than motivation, right? They have no motivation, but no environment to sustain it. They grind, but they grind alone, right? They grind, but they grind alone, right? They being athletes again. They have the ambition, but there's no standards. That is the key. There's no standards. Your coach might give you the standard, right? Your parents might give you the standard. Your teammate might give you a standard, but you have to have your own standard. Let me stop over here and see what we have rolling in. Oh, we have people rolling in. Yes. Demetrius, what's going on with you? Power 400, what's going on with your Team Zane? What's going on with you? Bickham, what's going on with you? Thanks for rolling in, guys. Thanks for rolling in. We're getting after it. We are discussing M.MLW. Thanks for stopping by. We're talking about an elite community that you or your athlete should be a part of, developing elite athlete, elite characteristics, elite mindset, elite standards. That's what we're talking about. This program, this community launched today. All right. And I'm so excited to get the word out to you all. We are going to change the life and the results for athletes globally. All right. So what I leave off, you have the motivation. We talked about that, the grind alone. Now you have I'm always talking individually here, right? High school programs are going to have a system. A travel sports program is going to have a system. I'm talking about the athletes. They don't have systems. That changes here. All right. You have talent. When you have talent without systems, it's going to fail. That talent's going to fail. That athlete's eventually not going to maximize their potential, right? Motivation without accountability dies, right? Motivation Motivation is great, but it's not sustainable without some type of accountability, right? With some type of without some type of system in place to expand that motivation to discipline and other characteristics that you'll learn with this community. And individually, you'll learn this individually. All right. So what this community does differently? Pay attention. What this community does differently. We build athletes from the inside out. What we understand here is what you project out into the world, performance wise, school wise, emotionally, it's just a reflection of the internal. I tell my guys all the time, let's fix the inside so the outside will correct itself. All right. So we build athletes from the inside out. Yes, speed, power, explosiveness. Of course, you're gonna learn that in this community. You know, performance level, strength, and durability. You're gonna learn all that. This program includes a 16-week speed and strength program. You join up, you join the community, boom, you got that. You're getting faster like that. 16 weeks of speed. And it's a holistic program. Speed, strength, mindset, nutrition, hydration guidelines, how to lose weight, how to gain weight. It's all in this 16-week program. So you're going to get faster, right? 100%. You're going to become a better athlete 100%, right? But also, again, what makes this community different? But also, we have the mind control. We have the emotional intelligence. We have the identity. We tell you your purpose, your why. All athletes need to understand their why. That's their foundation. That's why athletes get up 5 o'clock in the morning while their buddies are still laying in bed, kicking it, playing, reading the text, scrolling their phone, right? That's why athletes get home at 10 o'clock at night, where their buddies have already been home just eating, relaxing. That's why athletes miss things like prom. That's why athletes miss, football games, all the activities that you enjoyed. Many of the activities that you enjoyed as a student, you overlook it you miss those as a student athlete. But what's the why behind that? We help you identify your why. All right. Like I said, emotional intelligence, that's all part of this community. All right. So, okay, I gotta make sure I stay on time here because athletes who win long term, they're just not the fastest, the most aligned. When I say aligned, they're the mind body connection. All right, there's coherence. All right, there's coherence between the mind, there's coherence between the body. All right, those are the athletes that achieve success at the highest level. They maximize their potential. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of things here. So I always try to give everybody actionable activities. Let me see how we're doing over here in the chat. All right. Happy. Also, Arvin, happy. I said Diwali to you as well. Happy to see you in India. Thanks for stopping by. The real B1GK. That's a cool name. That might be the name of the day. Thanks for stopping by. Carlito. That's a smooth name. I like that one. So we have a battle for the name of the day. IDM training. I like that. IDM training. The real B1GK and Carlito, my top name so far. All right. So, like I said, thanks y'all for stopping by. I always want to talk about I always want to give you guys some actionable activity. So this is an actionable activity number 1. All right. So I want every athlete, parent, and coach here watching to answer this question right now in the comments. Write it in the comments or write it to yourself, whatever works for you. All right. What is the number one thing holding you back physically or mentally that I know that you've been avoiding facing? All right. Let me say that again. I always keep my notes over here during these lives. So pardon me. That's when I look over here, I'm checking my notes. What is the number one thing holding you back what is the number one thing holding you back physically or mentally? All right. That that you've been avoiding facing. All right. Maybe athletes, a lot of times it's nutrition. All right. You're an athlete that needs to put on weight, but you're only eating 3 times a day. All right. And you're doing it. You're putting off nutrition. Let me see where we are time-wise. You're putting off your nutrition, right? What is that? Is it you're not sleeping enough? All right. Or you're not eating enough, like I said. All right. Are you avoiding recovery? What's the one thing you're avoiding that's holding you back? Write that in the comments. Right? So now you're bad. I'm reading my notes. Not that you're not that you're necessarily bad at it, but you're avoiding it. You're putting it off, right? You're putting it off, right? You know it enhances your performance. You know it's the missing link, but what is something you're avoiding? You need to get after it, right? So, what's that one thing? Write that down in the chat, all right? So, we'll talk about the environment. The environment. Now, if you're here, you're getting value from this live, give me a 1 in the comments. Give me a 1 in the comments if you're getting value from this, all right? So let's talk about the power of environment, and why this elite community is different, all right? There's no fake hype. There's no, motivation, strictly motivation. There's none of that stuff. Nothing's fake. It's all genuine here, right? No, you got this with no structure. Let's get after it, motivation, that type of stuff. That's all great, but there's nothing behind it, right? There's nothing behind it. You're not going to develop and turn into a disciplined athlete with just a pat on the back and a let's go, right? That's not here. Everything is structured here, right? There's no disappearing for 3 weeks, then we come back like, we never left. None of that stuff. We're here every day. You're going to have 24/7 access to all of us, the whole team here. All right. So here's what you will see within the community. All right. You're going to see real accountability. We have an app specifically designed to develop your accountability, to help develop your consistency, and to help overcome procrastination. You master those 3 things. The physical part is the easy part, right? You're going to maximize your potential as an athlete, all right? So accountability, all right? Huge accountability with those tools that we have. I have, like I said, an app specifically designed. You have a coach, a lifestyle management coach is going to help you with all that, all right? Mind and body development, not just speed here. I told you about the 16-week speed. Where are we time-wise? I told you about 3 minutes. I told you about the 16-week program, but you also have an 8-week mindset program. You learn a different aspect of mind control, of mental education each week. You learn the importance of developing a program, your own individualized program. What I mean by that, athletes need to have an individualized program before games and even after games. You have your own routine. That's the word I'm looking for. Pre-game routines, post-game routines, developed by what you learn in the 8-week program. You're going to learn visualization 1 week, affirmations 1 week. You're going to have a routine that you take place in from day 1, a daily routine, an evening routine, right? You're going to take everything you learn from that and put together your pre-game routine and your post-game routine, all right? So that's what I mean by the mind development, not just speed and strength, all right? And standards that force growth, all right? Standards that force growth. Even when you don't feel like it type stuff, we're going to make sure you feel like it. It might start as motivation, but you're going to build a system in place that's going to turn into the discipline that you just push through those things that you know are going to make you a better athlete. And more importantly for this program, a better human being, all right? So it's getting close. We're winding it down. Our actionable activity number 2. Oh, shoot. Really winding it down. Before you go to bed, listen to this. Write it down. Do what you have to do. Tonight, before you go to bed, I want every athlete and parent to do this. Write down one standard you will no longer accept from yourself from yourself this week. I'm going to say that again. Write down one standard you will no longer accept from yourself this week. Not a goal, a non-negotiable. All right? For example, no more going to practice already half tired and unfueled. Happens all the time. 100%, right? No more saying, I'll do it later. That's the procrastination. By the way, we help eliminate that. No more skipping recovery and then complaining about soreness. Happens all the time. I hear it all the time, right? Type done in the comments if you're done with that. All right. Thank you, GF Milano. Thank you. I appreciate that. Type done in the comment if you're done with those things you know are holding you back, right? If you're ready to set yourself a standard that's higher than your competition, higher than your teammates, drop that done, all right, in the comments, all right? You have to do this tonight before you go to bed, all right? So I need to wind it down. We're right at 15 minutes. So got my notes here. Let me finish this thing out. Elite athletes unite isn't motivation, folks. It's movement building. It's peace through preparation. Peace through preparation. I love that. Confidence through repetition. Listen to what I'm saying. Peace through preparation. Confidence through repetition. Peace through preparation. When you perform at your highest level during practice, mentally and physically, you're going to perform at your highest level during the game, mentally and physically. And it's going to be like it's already been done because it's been rehearsed, because you're practicing at a higher level and you're getting that peace you need to perform at your higher level. All right. Let's see. An environment where accountability, systems, mindset equals unstoppable athletes. All right. An environment where accountability, systems, and mindset equal to unstoppable athletes. That's what we're developing here. All right. Now, listen, we have Zoom calls. We go live every Sunday with the community. We had a Zoom call last night. We got after it. Guys are super pumped up about this. I'm super pumped up about sharing this community with you. All right. So we train, we mentor, we expose blind spots. We don't babysit. All right. We're developing fine young men and women. If you train to win, to really win, right, mentally and physically, this is the room for you. This is the community for you. All right. So if you're ready to be a part of this community, DM me elite. DM me elite in the comments. Well, DM me elite. You're on this live. DM me elite, right? And I will get you the information, get you started, and we will flat out done. Yes, love it, love it. Jeff Milano, I love it. Again, if you're ready to take your sports game to the next level, I have to shut it down. Type elite in the comments right now. All right. I'm going to personally reach out. I want to get you started with this program. All right. We start now. We're live now. Not now is the time to take action. All right. So I have to get off here. Went over 2 minutes. You guys have a great Monday, rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon. Coach Ronnie's checking out. Peace.